Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Join me today as I dive into Eli Roth's Thanksgiving movie that was released in 2023. Let's dissect this gory holiday-themed horror and see if it's everything it's cracked up to be. Now, first things first, Eli Roth's fascination with blending holidays and horror first made waves with his trailer for Thanksgiving, which premiered during Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez's Grindhouse double feature. Those very few minutes of carnage were enough to leave fans properly craving for more, and years later, Eli Roth has finally delivered a full-length film. And even though this came out in 2023, and I've only watched it now in 2025, oh my god, it was brilliant. Right from the get-go, Thanksgiving grabs your attention with its unique premise, combining the Thanksgiving holiday, that's very popular in America. It's a symbol of like a togetherness and gratitude with your friends and your family, and blend that in then with, relentless terror of a slasher film. It's genius. It's a classic Eli Roth move, taking something comforting and turning it on its head. So, this is the first time of me watching this movie because it was recommended to me by my friend Ash, and Ash was telling me that I am going to love it because it is very much like a Scream slasher movie. So I had no idea what to expect or what I was going into, but oh my god, this movie was flipping amazing. For those of you who haven't seen this movie, just let me quickly explain what it's all about without giving away too many spoilers. The film follows a gruesome storyline centered around the aftermath of a Black Friday riot. The film kicks off where chaos ends up erupting during this Black Friday sale at the local superstore called Right Mart. Among the frenzied crowd of people, several people are trampled to death and others are tragically killed in all sorts of different ways, leading to a tragic and bloody event. The following year, the town tries to move on, but a masked killer inspired by the colonial figure John Carver begins a Thanksgiving-inspired killing spree. The killer specifically targets those who were connected to the tragic riot the previous year, leaving a trail of bodies and taunting the community with grisly social media posts. Jessica Wright, the daughter of Right Mart's owner, and her friends, they end up finding themselves caught in the killer's crosshairs. Now, as they try to survive, they must uncover the identity of this vengeful murderer before becoming his next victim. Now, holiday-themed horror films have a long and storied history, with classics like Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night, and even more recent, entries like Krampus and even Terrifier 3. While some have become cult fan favorites and others have been dismissed as basically holiday cash-ins with little substance. So where does this movie, Thanksgiving, fit in? Well, one of the first things you'll notice about this movie is its commitment to atmosphere. The setting of this, quaint New England town, decked out in richly coloured autumnal decor, provides an eerie contrast to the unfolding carnage. Now, Eli Roth's clever use of the small town vibe amplifies the sense of isolation and vulnerability experienced by the characters. Instead of leaning on cheap shocks and the jump scares, Eli Roth focuses on building a palpable sense of dread. Shot after shot, the tension just gets higher and higher until it's almost unbearable. And you can tell that Eli Roth, he has been taking notes from some of the great slashers of all time, and he has used this to his advantage. Something else that I loved about this movie is the characters, because you'd think that characters in this type of movie will just be these cliched victims lined up for the slaughter, but in my opinion, Eli Roth has crafted these characters that, they're not deeply complex, but they do feel very real. From the single father to the overly enthusiastic high school children, each persona adds something tangible to the story. As they stumble into the blood-soaked narrative, their reactions and decisions feel genuine, making their eventual demises all the more impactful. impactful. And on the subject of kill scenes, oh my god, there was some pretty brutal moments in this film. I mean, this, you know, the person who made this film was also the guy who brought us Hostel, so it's to no surprise that this film is proper gory throughout. And you come to realize that very early on in the movie, because during that whole riot scene when everybody's storming that Right Mart store, you've got bones breaking, you've got throats getting accidentally cut, you've got broken glass going over people, and oh my god, that whole wrist bending break backwards scene really did catch me off guard. It was quite disgusting. I think one of the standout elements of this movie is the seamless balance of horror and humor. There is this scene in the film that I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but there is this infamous dinner scene that happens in the third act, and it is filled with tension and executed to perfection. Now, as I said, I'm not going to give too much away, but Eli Roth's direction during this scene, it proper shines through. And also a scene as well that, oh my god, the scene where a certain character ends up in the oven and cooked alive. Oh my word, it was a scene that did make me feel a little bit uncomfortable because it is literally one of my worst nightmares, basically being, you know, entrapped in a small space and then also being cooked alive. I'm also not going to give away the killer reveal in this video because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, but it was a brilliant twist. There is a moment where you think you know who the killer is and you feel that it's going down this very predictable route, but then they literally pull the rug out from underneath you and turn it all completely on its head, and I thought it was just done beautifully. So, in conclusion, Eli Roth's Thanksgiving is a joyous bloodbath rich with holiday nostalgia and gut-wrenching horror. It really is a love letter to fans who really enjoy this type of genre. I mean, it's just absolutely, like, I just think it's brilliant. I think it's one of the best slashes I've seen in a very, very long time. If you take away some of the, you know, the latest Scream sequels, this film is absolutely incredible. If you're a fan of slashers and proper gory kills, then you're gonna absolutely love this movie. And when I say gory, I really do mean gory. Be prepared to see intestines flying everywhere. If you haven't seen it yet, please go and watch it right now. You will not regret it. And there's even a Thanksgiving #2 coming out at some point. I'm not sure if it's this year or next year, but I'm looking forward to seeing part 2. I am going to give Thanksgiving a very, very healthy 9.2 out of 10. Okay then, well, now it's your turn to share your thoughts. Have you seen Thanksgiving? What did you think of the movie? Let me know everything, guys, in the comments box below. And if you're new here, please don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button for more movie reviews and horror content. Okay then, guys, that is a wrap. Thank you all for watching today's video. Keep watching horror, and I will see you all next time.